Gotcha. This is a test of the City of Palatka audio system. You're good. Takes forever. It just takes forever on this thing.
Mr. Holmes, can you hear me?
I can.
I wanted to ask you, how much would you like me to elaborate on these cases when they come up, the ordinances, or is that just something that Sunny reads? Do I need to stand up and give a presentation?
Two of the ordinances, as I recall, are second readings, so they shouldn't require a lot of explanation. And the others, Sunny will, of course, introduce the topic. If you want to give just a brief, very brief intro of where the property is, essentially by address, what the zoning request is, and I guess if you have a recommendation or what the planning commission decision was, then other than that, commission can ask you questions if they have additional topics they want to cover or address. We are live now on YouTube, Lisa, and it is being recorded right now.
Understood. Thank you.
So for those of you who can hear me, it appears we've lost internet connectivity, and the acting city clerk is diligently trying to reestablish that at this time. Can anyone see what's happening at City Hall? Val, can you see the commission?
No, I just can see you.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get my laptop. we're attempting to set up individual Zoom links for the commissioners. And so they'll each Zoom in if that's successful. Looks like a component absolutely failed. They were good to go and everything was transmitting, and then it's not. So I see City Palatka here on one.
They've been here for a while.
The mayor, you can see, you've seen them, been able to see
I
the mayor.
think,
Now
I think he's back up, Don.
yeah, you can see the mayor now.
Okay, I think that's my laptop that Sonny is working with, I believe.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Are you getting
Yes, sir.
feedback?
No, I'm not getting feedback.
Neither am I.
Negative.
Okay.
Sounds good, Don.
All right. So we're sorry for the delays. We got a little bit of technical difficulties. We're gonna try to do this meeting. Are you on? That may be the call in. Is that? Is she LinkedIn? If you could just come in. Put a video up, so they can, because it may be the only way they can see both of us. Just throw it so you can catch a little bit of me. How you cover yourself?
And actually, I can put it there, Mayor, and if I talk, I mean, they know where the
Okay.
camera is.
All right.
And sometimes they have a speaker. So basically, you'll be the speaker.
Okay.
How does it sound?
All right, we're gonna, and I know it's a bit odd, but we're gonna go ahead and try to start this meeting. And so at this time, we're gonna call this meeting to order. Pastor Mulberry, if you come forward. You got Zoom on your phone? Just unmute back there. We're gonna have our Pastor Mulberry gonna lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of America, to which it stands, one nation, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Come forward.
Father, we thank you once again for this opportunity to be here. We give you glory and praise. We give you honor. We look to you. We trust your name. We depend on your will and your way. Touch us now. Bless us and touch us and bless us. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, thank you, Pastor. Roll call, please. Just, I'll do it for here, so for the sake of time. Commissioner Borum.
Present.
Commissioner McCaskill.
Here.
Commissioner Campbell.
Present.
Commissioner Jones. Do we have Commissioner Jones on?
He appears to be on, but I'm.
And Terrell Hill. All members are present and accounted for. Just for the record, present inside of City Hall and normal meeting place are Commissioners Borum, McCaskill, and Mayor Hill for the purposes of today's meeting. It is at this time with the members present, so I'll entertain a motion so that our other two commissioners are able to participate virtually based on our ordinance and be able to vote and participate in our meetings for the remainder of the day.
So moved.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And this is for housekeeping purposes so that we can make sure we've got a clear record. Commissioner Jones, can you hear me now? I can't hear. I can't hear him. I'm getting that feedback. Commissioner, can you mute for me so that we don't have feedback? Okay, has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from the June 14th, 2021 meeting, our special call meeting? Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner Jones, I believe you got a lot of feedback coming, so if you got two devices close, you can push back from one and help us. Or mute one, cut the volume down. Also, the minutes from the June 24th, 2021 meeting, has everyone had an opportunity to read those minutes as well? Motion
Motion approved.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Commissioners, all in favor say aye.
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 I hear you now, Commissioner Jones. Any nays? Motion carries. Moving on to public recognitions and presentations, we have a proclamation for today. And our proclamation is for Pastor Carl Flagg, 50 years in It's his 50th year ministry anniversary day, July 25th, 2021. One second. Ms. Krantz, can you read the proclamation for me? There we go.
Whereas Pastor Reverend Carl Nathaniel Flagg is celebrating his 50th anniversary in the ministry service, and whereas Reverend Flagg is a lifelong resident of Palatka and a product of the Putnam County School District, where he served as senior class president and was an honor graduate in 1977, Pastor Flagg furthered his education by earning an Associates of Science degree in funeral service education from Miami-Dade College and a pastoral studies degree from New Orleans Baptist Theological Studies, Jacksonville. And whereas Reverend Flagg delivered his first sermon at the House of God Church in Palatka at the tender age of 11 years old under the leadership of the late Elder Daniel G.A. Savage Jr. on July 25, 1971. And whereas Reverend Flagg became a licensed youth minister at the age of 11, and whereas Reverend Flagg was called to shepherd Mount Tabor First Baptist Church in Palatka, Florida, where he was installed as pastor on April 7, 1991, and has served as pastor for the past 30 years. And whereas Reverend Flagg is a licensed funeral director and embalmer and serves as president and chief executive officer of the Carl N. Flagg Serenity Memorial Chapel, Inc. And whereas Reverend Flagg is a true statesman, having been a public servant for over 30 years, he served as a Palatka City Commissioner during 1990 to 1995, Palatka Mayor during 2000 to 2011, and Putnam County Commissioner District 3 during 2012 to 2016. And whereas Reverend Flagg is the current chaplain of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office and board chairman for the Putnam Community Medical Center, he has served numerous community organizations, including the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, Putnam County Tourist Development Council, Putnam County Economic Development Council, Putnam County Development Authority, Rhoda Heaver Boys Ranch, Central Putnam Ministerial Association as past president, National Funeral Directors Association, Independent Funeral Directors of Florida, Director of Chaplains and Support Services, Putnam County Sheriff's Department, Volunteer Chaplain, Putnam Community Medical Center, Chaplain for the Florida Highway Patrol, Troop G, Chaplain for the Putnam County EMS, etc. And whereas Reverend Flagg is a recipient of the Florida Governor Jeb Bush's Points of Light Award, as well as President George H.W. Bush's Point of Light Award, and whereas Reverend Flagg is a proud husband, father of 2 daughters, and grandfather of 2 children, now therefore I, Terrell L. Hill, Mayor of the City of Palatka, together with the members of the Palatka City Commission, proclaim Sunday, July 25th, 2021, as Pastor Reverend Carl N. Flagg 50th year anniversary, ministry anniversary day in the city of Palatka, and we urge all citizens to celebrate and congratulate Pastor Flagg upon the occasion of his 50th year of ministry service. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the city of Palatka this 22nd day of July in the year of our Lord 2021.
Motion on the floor in a second from Commissioner Borum. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, questions called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do we have Pastor Flagg on the line?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Pastor Flagg, sorry for the technical difficulties, but we'd love to hear some words from you, and congratulations on 50 years in ministry.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners, City Administration, and all who have joined this evening's meeting. I am both humbled and honored to be recognized at a time such as this. My family, my wife, my daughters, son-in-law, grandson, and granddaughter are all my #1 cheerleading squad. I am so thankful that God has placed me in a community that I love and adore. I'm so grateful that we can mark this milestone in history. I'm not one to draw attention to myself, but I'm thankful that someone recognizes that my heart is in the quality of life enhancement for our community. So thank you for taking the time to mark this milestone in ministry. I have come too far from where I started from to stop now. I just thank God for my humble upbringing, through my parents, my mother, my father, my grandparents. I'm just grateful for those people who have surrounded me. I would be remiss not to mention all of those educators in my life who saw the best in me, who pushed me, who pressed me, and caused me to do no less than excellent. And so thank you so much to my colleagues. Thankful for all of the leaders throughout our community who are working through these most tenacious times. Thank you for being a friend of Flag, and may God bless us all.
Thank you, Pastor. Any comments from the commission?
Although I wish to commend Pastor Flag for 50 years of dedicated service to ministry. Being a son of a PK, I know the time and dedication that it entails to be on the battlefield, fighting not only for the Lord, but for our community as well. And just to have known me all my life, and I've seen you walk the way that the Bible has laid out. And you have not wavered from doing so. And I know that you will continue to do so. So congratulations on behalf of my family to you. Thank you so much for what you're doing, what you are doing, what you will do for the upbuilding of God's kingdom.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Pastor Flag, this is Commissioner McCaskill. I want to personally thank you as well as your family, not only for what you've done for this community, but the impact and the things that you have done for me personally and my family. I don't think that this time would do justice to say, to give you the thanks and the congrats that you need and the recognition that you deserve as a leader in this community. I thank you for being my pastor, spiritually, my spiritual leader, the community leader, the things that you have done, again, as Commissioner Campbell said, that you do now, you currently do and will do. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Commissioner McCaskill.
Well, Pastor Flag, this is Commissioner Borman again. I want to thank you for your dedication, your commitment, and the sacrifices you have made for not only yourself, but your family, your community, and most of all, the commitment you made to God to serve not only yourself, but you serve our entire community and beyond our community, for your dedication and your commitment, and for the 50 years of service you've provided to our community. I can't say enough about what you have done. So there's not enough words in the Webster Dictionary to explain or describe your work here on earth, and your reward be certainly in heaven. But you taking care of people while they're living. You take care of the people while they're living, and you also take care of them when they pass on. So you got 360 degrees of taking care of people, 120, 360. So your reward will be in heaven. Thank you, sir, for all you've done. And continue to do it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any other comments?
Reverend Flag, this
Yes.
is Commissioner Jones.
Yes,
And
sir.
again,
Good
I
evening,
want to
Commissioner.
thank you. I want to thank you for your years of service, your commitment to this community, the city of Palatka, to all of our families that you have touched. And thank you for being a trailblazer, because it's obvious that you have reached all of us and touched our lives so that we wanted to make a difference in our community. I've already spoke to you personally, but I would be remiss not to do it publicly. And I thank you for all you have done and are continuing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones.
So, Pastor, I'll save the remainder of my comments. There's no need to echo the sentiments of this commission, but I want everyone in Zoom land to understand that I also asked Pastor Flag, I said, at the age of 11, did you play Little League sports? Because I said, well, while the rest of the kids are playing Little League sports, you were delivering the benediction and the message for the day. And so that says a whole lot about you and your commitment to God, to this community. And so I'm just excited about these 50 years, and we'll see you on Sunday at 3. So for the services as we continue forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Next up will be public comments. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. There'll be no action taken on topics of discussion. Is there anyone here for public comment? You can use the YouTube chat function, or you can dial 386-329-0100 extension 0. Is there anyone here for public comment? At this time, we'll open up public comment. Is there anything in YouTube chat?
Not at this time.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment. We'll move on to the consent agenda. On our consent agenda, we've got items A through N. Are there any items on the consent agenda that you wish to have removed at this time, Commissioners?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
I would like item J, resolution number 2021 R89.
Okay. Are there any other items that we wish to have removed at this time?
Motion to accept all items on the consent agenda, A through N, with the exception of item J.
There's a motion on the floor to accept minus J. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Even those in Zoom land, I need a vote from you.
We did vote, Mayor.
I can't hear you.
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item J, adopt resolution number 2021 R89, authorizing execution of an agreement with AACI Services Incorporated in the amount of $28,000 for turf maintenance services at the Palatka Riverfront Park. There we go. And it says resolution of the City of Palatka, Florida, awarding turf maintenance bid for AACI Services Incorporated in the amount of $28,000 for turf maintenance services at the Palatka Riverfront Park, providing for scrivener's errors and providing for effective date. Mr. Griffith, do you want to take this? This item?
Yes, sir. I can give a brief overview. As you recall, you were originally awarded this to Brightview Landscape Services in the amount of $19,000. However, Brightview declined to sign some necessary paperwork that we require. Simply put, the E-Verify certification, which means that they certify that they check the eligibility of all of their employees to make sure that they are eligible to work in the United States of America. Since they declined, we could obviously not enter into a contract with them, and the next lowest, most qualified bidder was AACI Services.
Any questions, Commissioner Jones? I know you pulled this item.
Yes, sir. The question I have is, I understood about the documentation with I-9 complications. However, I wanted us to review, and I stated to the city manager as well as Jonathan, our contract back with the Department of Corrections. They did that prior, and prior to us signing this contract or going on with the contract with this company, I would like for us to have a meeting with DOC in reference to them trying to actually patch our relationship and contract up with them, because I think that need to be revisited. And I've shared that. I shared that conversation with Mr. Griffin, and we just never got to sit back down and talk about it. And before we enter into agreement with another company, I would like for that to take place.
So was the riverfront wasn't a part of the prison contract, was it? Mr. Griffith, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I apologize, Mayor. I muted myself. For the past couple of years, the riverfront was under contractual maintenance with AACI services, but that award termed out. The prisoners did assist in the maintenance of the riverfront prior to that.
So who's currently maintaining the riverfront?
We're currently using AACI services, but we can only authorize up to 7 mows before we go over our procurement threshold.
And so we've got a meeting next week. I actually spoke to the warden on a different matter concerning the right-of-ways. I asked him would he be available to come in. I thought he was going to come in today and give some public comment on the right-of-ways. And then I spoke to his office. He said he'd be able to come in for next week's meeting, and he'd be available to meet with the city manager or whoever else he would need to meet with to discuss where they were before. Before we get too far off topic on this particular discussion, some of the information that's relayed to me seemed to be different from the information that I got from the warden, and it seemed as though the logical thing to do would be to have a conversation with them as it pertains to some of the other stuff. But for the purposes of this item that we have on the agenda today, we're in discussion right now what's the pleasure of the commission as we move forward with this item? There's a motion on the floor currently.
Are there any issues as it relates to the initial award as opposed to I guess the paperwork, proper paperwork not being signed, and then once it's awarded to the second bidder, lowest bidder?
I can't hear the commissioner.
What would change, what are we trying to solve for? That's what I'm trying to understand.
You saying that he's asking, are there any, is the paperwork current, is the AACI paperwork proper and current? Which the answer to that is yes. Their paperwork is proper and current. And the only difference is the variance in price based upon that and the fact that the prison was the last group to maintain the riverfront. And so that's where we are.
Well, no, I think, Brightview was awarded initially, and my understanding was that, Brightview did not sign
The I-9.
I-9s or whatever, for e-verification. So it's defaulted to the next lowest bidder.
Right.
So I'm just fortunate that the Commissioner Jones pulled it for that reason to say that why did not Brightview get it, and that.
Commissioner Jones' concern was, based on what I'm hearing, is his concern is that the award that we're awarding the riverfront to AACI after we discontinued the prison contracts, and that there may be some understanding with the prison contracts that you think we should talk to the warden about.
Absolutely. If we could salvage that relationship, because if you, I mean, I'm quite sure we all have noticed the service level right now on the right-of-ways, and if we could salvage the relationship with the DOC and have them and award them some of those contracts back at a lower rate as well, I must add, because if I stand to be corrected, that original contract was lower than $28,000 when we voted to give it to the other company. So I don't have the notes in front of me right now, but I do know this. I know that I have also spoke with the warden at the prison, and it just seems like it was some miscommunication. It's not that they do not want to work for us in the capacity that they did in the past, and there were some issues in reference to COVID and the governor's mandate that prevented them fulfilling the contract, not that they didn't want to. And just as we have to reorganize the way we operate due to the fact of COVID, we have to be considerate of the people we partner with as well. So they may couldn't have reached their deliverables at that time, but it was due to no fault of their own. So I think we should sit down and have that conversation before severing that relationship, because it has been a good, long-standing relationship in our community for some time. So that's my request at this time, that we table it until we meet with the warden at the prison, and maybe we sit down and we iron these things out.
And I totally understand what you, Commissioner Jones. You bring up some valid points as it relates to communication and everything. And while we're speaking about communication, and Jonathan is here and City Manager Holmes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, did we not attempt to reach out to them on several occasions to communicate to them as far as the services that they were providing and some missed services? And I think we're expecting a payment from them that we may not have, a few payments that we have not received. So can one of you all elaborate on that and share with us, please?
So if I could, Mr. Mayor, we're happy to reach out and speak with the prison system again. I will tell you that as of right now, and as of our communications last week, Department of Transportation is not receiving any assistance from DOC. Putnam County is not receiving any assistance from DOC in terms of prison labor crews. At least that's the information we've been provided. We spoke with DOT, Department of Transportation, last week as they asked us to assist them in some right-of-way issues. And at that time, they confirmed that they had 0 prison crews available to them. We reached out to the county and were advised the same thing. Prior to this contract being terminated, and obviously I rely on information that I get from others, and Jonathan is on the Zoom call to speak, but we were getting prison crews about 39% of the time that they were scheduled to work, but we were paying 100% of the contract. There's been conversation that we didn't have any communication with the warden or the prison. I think Jonathan can speak directly to that. Matter of fact, the last word I had, they were not allowing any prison guards to leave the prison to supervise crews. But if all that's changed now, if they've decided to relax all that and they can fulfill the contract and start delivering at performance levels that we can tolerate, then I think everyone at city staff would be tickled to death. But I would like Jonathan to speak briefly about the issue of our communication with the prison, because it's kind of been alleged that we had no communication with them. And Jonathan, can you speak to that?
Yes, of course. And first, we did receive our refund, Commissioner McCaskill. We got approximately $13,826 back as a credit for non-performance. So we were very appreciative to DOC in Tallahassee as well as DOC here in East Palatka. But I will tell you, I personally spoke to the warden on numerous occasions. We both wish this would have gone a different route. I think everyone knows here that, for the $54,000 to $56,000 that we pay per contract, we get approximately a 3.5 full-time equivalent. So we get a lot more for our dollar working with the Department of Corrections. And I think they did a great job. I think you could ask anybody down in Public Works and they'd tell you the same thing. And our guys are suffering for it right now. Like Mr. Holmes said, we would love the opportunity to sit down and talk to the warden and the prison, DOC, to see if they're in a different position. But when we last spoke to them, their hands were tied and they just could not fulfill their contractual obligations.
Jonathan, didn't you advise me that the warden actually called you and apologized for not being able to fulfill?
Yes, sir. Once we sent notice that we were terminating, the warden called and said, I wish things would have worked out differently and wish we would have been able to actually, send you some guys.
So we're happy to back out and revisit if that's the wishes of the commission. There's been some communication about our mowing, aside from the fact that we've had a lot of rain and there's a lot of grass. Right now, previously at a point in time, you had 3 prison crews and 2 city crews mowing. You have no prison crews now and 5 people on staff at the city mowing. There are 2 vacancies. So, you know, it is a challenge to try to keep any kind of schedule. If the prison crews could be available again and be dependable, it'd be a huge thing for us. And there's no one that I know of at city staff that's against that. So if the warden is telling someone that now they can fulfill the contract, we're tickled to death to meet with them.
So 2 things. Outside of the numbers that we have mowing right now, sticking to this mowing concept, what have we done since we cut the prison crews to try to attract more staff to deal with the issues that we have in place? Outside of just normal advertising the job, have we had a job fair? Have we hired on site? Have we reached out to the retirees to try to see if we can get people in? Because if you cut 3 prison crews, then you got to try to replace 3 prison crews. Did we advertise and try to get our contract folks to cut? What did we do?
We attempted to look at we have a list, an inventory of properties to be mowed. The effort was made to determine what we could most efficiently accomplish by contract, and we let those contracts. You were to approve one tonight on the riverfront. There was already one on the cemeteries. And then, as I indicated, yes, we've been actively trying to solicit employees. We can have a job fair, but I mean, we're soliciting employees. We have 2 potential applicants right now, it's my understanding, but it's just been tough to hire. And we're not the only ones experiencing that. If you watch TV or you read the newspaper, you see that everyone is having a difficult time in attracting labor, or has had a difficult time attracting labor. But you know, if you want us to approach it a different way, we can have a job fair. We can do a number of different things, but I don't think there's been any reluctance on our part to hire or procure services. It's just been difficult to acquire. But we're happy to sit down with the warden whenever, next week, whenever. If he thinks he can deliver now, if they are allowed to let guards leave the prison, the only option we were offered, to the best of my knowledge, then can relate to me, was we could have our people monitor prisoners on a 1-to-2 ratio. Well, you know, that's basically asking our people to perform a function they really didn't sign on for, and your multiplier is only 1, because we take up top 1 of our people for 2 of theirs, so you gain 1. And that was at that point in time deemed not as successful or an efficient way to move forward. We actually save money, as I understand, on the contract labor from what we have with the prison. But Jonathan, you may want to expound on that.
I don't need him to expound any longer. What I need from me is, I need us to understand that, one, if the warden reached out and said he could train employees to go over and take inmates. We got some employees who've already been previously trained under previous warden to take employees. And the reality of it is, if he could bring 2 inmates out for 1 employee, that's more than just 1 employee going out mowing by himself. And so at the end of the day, no effort or inaction is no better than no action. And so at some point, there's got to be a solution to the problem. If you lose 15 inmates, at some point, you got to replace them with some number of people or some number of contracts. We haven't done either. There needs to be some answers to that question that come up real fast with more than just direction from the commission. It needs to be something that's done in-house so that we can deal with those labor issues that are out there. And on the other side of it, and speaking with the warden, I think there is some variance in the conversations that are taking place. But at the end of the day, it's all water under the bridge, and we need to figure out how to get to a point where there's a solution, because the city looks like crap. And that's just the reality of what it is. And we can sit and talk until our mouth starts to fry chicken. If we don't get to a point where we start to resolve the issue, the grass is going to be 6 feet tall all over town. And we're going to still be talking about there's not enough people to carry it out. So we got to get it done. And that's the bottom line. That's where I am. The warden will be here. He's willing to sit down and talk to management to see if we can come up with a solution. By the time we come back to the meeting on Thursday, I want us to at least see if we looked at some viable options so that we can bring something back to this commission.
So, first of all, I want to say that we received the payment. Thank you for updating us on that information, Jonathan. And I really don't have much more to say, and I guess Commissioner Moore has something to say, but we just need to make a decision whether or not we're gonna table this thing or go into a contract.
Frankly, I think I'm confused as it relates to revisiting this. I thought we made a unanimous vote from the commission when we chose to do away with using prison labor, period. I thought that's what we voted on. In addition to the contractual non-performance, and that was the second piece of it. And by, again, in terms of the contract, I see $19,000 as opposed to $28,000. You got $9,000 different. We need the services. We're still ahead of the game if we got $13,000 back as a refund. So I think moving forward, and we can rekindle or reestablish that relationship going forward, because how do we deal with that contractual performance deal when we've had a previous issue with DOC, and then I think the commission voted unanimously because we talked about the Amendment 13 in terms of. I agree. So I don't know if we need to go back and revisit utilizing prison labor for the benefit of the city. I think we'll be speaking out of both sides of our mouth.
And I'll tell you, I'm not a proponent of prison labor, but I am a proponent of truth. And at the end of the day, only thing I want is for all the information to be shared by everybody at the same time. And I don't like the fact that people have conversations with me and I don't feel like I've gotten the whole story. I feel like I've gotten 99% or 85% of the story. Give me all of it and let me make a decision based upon what's in place. And when I look at our city right now, it looks far different than it did a few months ago, even with 39% performance. And the only thing I want to do is if we're going to sever a relationship with anybody, then I want us to be able to have a real 100% conversation about what's in place. So that at the end of the day, if that's our decision, this commission's made a fully informed decision. It's not about going back. I've never been informed in favor of prison labor, but I'm not in favor of ending a contract on bad terms as well, particularly with an organization that we want to keep a positive relationship with. And so that's where I am. As far as this motion is concerned, my belief is there's a now as it relates to the riverfront. It needs to be cut and maintained now. As far as it relates to the right-of-ways, we've got to come up with some alternatives as to what we start to do with some of these other properties. And I believe that on the motion as exists right now, my position is we need to go ahead and pass this, and we need to address and look at ways to deal with the rest of that stuff as we come to our next meeting next week. Is there any further discussion on this motion?
I would like to just clarify this for Commissioner Moore, and whatever the favor of the commission is, I'm okay with it. Commissioner Borum, I received a phone call from the warden at East Palatka Department of Corrections stating that they wish they would have had an opportunity to talk about this prior to them just reading it in the paper that the contract was terminated. So that sparked the revision of this, where we got to revisit it and find out exactly where did we have a disconnect. So I think that's just the way we need to do business. The way the city looks is important to me as well as all of you guys. If you feel that we need to go on with this, and you brought it out yourself, that the numbers are different than what the first bid was. So when things like that happen, and then you see it come up to be voted on again today, and the numbers don't match, okay, we need to start doing a little more deep dive on these things, and I'm gonna let it go with that.
Commissioner, I wasn't privy to having a conversation with the warden. I mean, the warden may have talked to other commissioners and the mayor behind the scenes. I'm a little bit lost, and so I thought we had voted on it, we put it to sleep, and I thought we had to move forward with it, but it has resurfaced, and so now I'm just a little bit confused. That's my concern.
This is Commissioner McCaskill, and actually you are right. We did have a meeting and we voted on it. However, I am in favor of transparency. And I don't think it'll do us any harm if we go ahead and reach out and table this item so that we can clear up the transparency, clear up the communication, and we don't have to go back and forth about who said what.
Correct.
Okay? So that's my position on this.
And that's the motion to, table this.
You gotta withdraw the first motion.
Who made the motion? I didn't make the motion.
There's no motion.
No
The
motion.
motion takes all
Okay.
items.
So there's a motion to table by Commissioner Moore.
I second.
After the, communication with the ward, or staff.
Second by Commissioner Jones to table. Is there any further discussion? All questions called, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Second, Commissioner Jones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We're out of consent. We move on to the fun part of our meeting. Now, next up, public hearing. Under our public hearing, we got item A, which is adopt resolution number 2021 R84 to consider adoption of 2021 fire assessment rate to fund the fire protection services with no change in the rate of assessment from 2020 rates and memorializing staff direction. We also, just for the record, we've got Mark Lawson here with us. He's gonna read the abstract.
A resolution of the Commission of the City of Palatka, Florida, approving the fiscal year 2021-22 non-ad valorem taxes assessment roll for the fire protection services, facilities, and programs, directing certification of the assessment roll and collection pursuant to the Uniform Assessment Collection Act, confirming required statutory notice, and imposing and levying fire assessments, providing directions, providing an effective date, providing for scrivener's errors.
All right, no more telephone. Let me go over that again. How do we have it in place? It's resolution of the City of Palatka, Florida, approving the fiscal year 2021 non-ad valorem assessment roll, fire protection services, facilities, and programs, director certification of assessment and rolls collection pursuant to the Uniform Assessment Collection Rate.
Hold
on.
Public hearing first.
Yeah, the resolution is wrong. Which one are we on? All right, now we're open the floor. We're going to open the floor in a second. Open the floor for public hearings. Everyone here for public hearings? There's no one here for public hearing at this time. Is there anything in the YouTube chat?
At this time, Mayor.
There's nothing in the YouTube chat. We'll now close public hearing. Is there any further discussion from the commission? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hey, Mayor.
Excuse me?
Mayor Hill.
Anyone opposed?
Commissioner Jones here.
You're opposed?
Aye. Opposed.
You're opposed. All right, Commissioner Jones opposed. Motion passes 4-1. Moving on to item B, adopt resolution number 2021 R95, electing to timely preserve the use of the uniform method of collecting non-ad valorem assessments levied in all parts of the city of Palatka for the fiscal year 2022-23, beginning October 1st, 2022, stating a need for such levy. Let me read that. This transfer, I think. They won't be able to hear you the same way. The Resolution of the City of Palatka, Florida. Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Palatka, Florida, approving the fiscal year 21-22 non-ad valorem assessment roll for fire protection services, facilities, and programs, directing certification of the assessment roll and collection pursuant to the Uniform Assessment Collection Act, confirming required statutory notice, and imposing and levying fire service assessment, providing directions, providing an effective date, and providing for scrivener's errors. Be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Palatka, Florida. I entertain a motion at this time. we're on B, we just did A. Okay, they're backwards. Come on. All right, 6B. They're backwards in my book. 6B right here. All right, let me read this caption again. The residents of the City of Palatka City Commission. Residents of the City Commission of the City of Palatka, Florida. Elections to timely preserve the use of the uniform method of collection and ad valorem assessments levied in all or part of the City of Palatka, Florida for the fiscal year 2022-23, beginning October 1st, 2022, stating the need for such levy, providing for a timely mailing of this resolution as provided by general law, providing an effective date, and providing for scrivener's errors. I entertain a motion.
That's B, right?
Yes, B.
And that's the public hearing.
Second.
So there's a motion on the floor in a second. We're now open the floor for public hearing. Is there anyone here for public hearing? You can also use the YouTube chat function.
Not at this time, Mayor.
Or you can dial 386-329-0100 extension 0. Is there anything in the YouTube chat?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Seeing no one here for public hearing, we'll close public hearing. Is there any further discussion from the commission? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition. Motion passes unanimously. Next up is our trim calendar. Adopt resolution number 2021 R96, setting the tentative millage rate for 2021-22 budget year 7.4 mills proposed. Ms. Shank, are you on the phone?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I have provided a supplementary document to Sunny. Sunny, are you able to put that up on the screen so that the commission can see that item?
I don't think we're gonna get anyone on the screen.
Okay.
You got permission to share screen? You can share your screen. We've got some technology challenges on this end.
Can you see my screen?
We see your screen.
Okay. So, first thing that I want you to take a look at is the historical millage for the city of Palatka. As you can see, since FY 2017, we have remained at a flat millage of 6.4. Dating back to FY 2016, we were at 6.9967. And then at 2015, we were at 9.1749. The reason for the drop in our millage was due to the fire assessment being adopted within that fiscal year. Currently, if you take a look at the millage breakdown, 1/10 of a mill is equal to a little under $45,000. So it is $44,840 to be exact. So if the commission wishes to adopt a flat tentative millage, you have $163,212 of new revenue coming in. The proposed millage that I'm putting forth is at 7.4, which would generate an additional $611,616. This is the maximum tentative millage. So if the commission wishes to adopt a lower millage in September at our first public hearing, which is when we would propose that item, you may do so. However, if you lock in at 6.4 during this time frame and decide that you would need additional revenue for general fund before then, through the next commission workshops and items that'll be discussed, then you would have to go into your reserves. So right now you do have a healthy reserve. It's 34%. However, like I said, if you are to not increase the millage, you're going to need to dip into your reserves. Does
Just for
any of
information.
any of the commissioners have any questions as far as what the mill breakdown is that you're looking at in front of you, or how the adoption process goes with adopting the tentative millage?
And just for the record, the minimum recommended reserve is 15%?
Correct, yes. That is
Any
best,
questions?
best practice.
Okay, I agree. Any questions from the commission? Any comments from the commission?
Well, I could have concerns about even raising it to, that degree or whatever. I mean, I think we have a lot of work to do with what we're trying to have. I mean, 6.4 and the 2.46, I mean, we have increased our, funding level, quite a bit since, 2015. And I think we got monies that we may not realize that we have in terms of looking at our budget in a little bit more magnified way, I think, because passing this, unless we can do it in a way to where it'll sunset within a year, but I wouldn't want to put that on the taxpayers in terms of adding a full bill to our taxpayers at $400 and some more $1,000. And the reason I say that is because some our taxpayers right now, they just, they don't feel like they're getting the services that they are due. And I do know our staff we need to look at increasing their wages, that's for sure. There's no time to do a special assessment, in my opinion, because that has to be put forth a year in advance at least. But I think there's ways that we can get money. We see 163,000 new money. We have the golf course as well as the airport coming off in 2023. And both of those are right around $300 and some $1,000, just $300 and some $1,000. So we're looking at least $500 to $600,000 money that will be available from debt that we're currently in now. We got another year to pay it off. And so if we pass this measure, I think the other be permanent. I don't see where we would turn back. We have not turned the RP back yet, so I think adding that would really hurt it unless we can do a sunset. That's my comment.
Sure.
Any other comments?
And like I said, Commissioner Borum, you do have the option to reduce the millage. And if the commission wishes, we can adopt a tentative millage that is within a more reasonable level. For instance, if you and the commission decide that they would like to adopt the tentative millage at 6.9 mils, that just locks you in that is the maximum that you could do. Potentially through the workshops, if you decide to make budget cuts or reduce specific things, you could potentially keep your 6.4 flat mill. It's just giving you that leverage of the maximum. It's setting the maximum for you by statute.
Oh, I understand that very, very clear, but I would only look at that if it was a way for the sunset. I mean, that's just my position on that.
Any other comments from the commission?
And I'm a little bit concerned with the sunset because we don't know, looking ahead, if we get to a point, we don't know, and I understand that we can put it in if they sunset, but we don't know what may happen with everything going on, and I'm just concerned about moving in that direction.
Any other comments? I'm sorry. Anything else, Commissioner? McCaskill?
No, thank you.
And could y'all hear Commissioner McCaskill?
I could, yes. I
Okay.
will say that you cannot put a sunset provision on your tentative millage because it is something that you formally adopt every year. So if you were to adopt a 6.7% millage, 6.7 mil, and then next year decide that you want to go back down to 6 mils, you can do so. That's completely up to your pleasure and your vote. It's just something that's done annually, so it's not verbiage that you would write in that it would sunset.
Commissioner Jones or Campbell, you got any comments?
I have no comments.
I couldn't hear. Who was that, Jones or Campbell? That's Jones. Commissioner Campbell, you got anything?
No, sir, I have nothing.
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, and I'll give my comments briefly, and I've had a conversation with Ms. Schenk as well. I think the concern and why the millage proposal, the tentative millage, was proposed to be raised to 7.4 is based upon the fact that we got the boat coming in, the second boat coming in. We've got the results of the salary study coming in. Also, we've got potentially what could end up being the Central Academy campus coming in as well. However, and the numbers run about $682,000. And I told her, I said, one of the things that I'm concerned with is we made a commitment, we made fire assessment, when we put fire assessment in place, we made a commitment to the citizens that we would make our best efforts not to raise taxes anymore. Because I feel that the citizens carry a significant weight with what we've got in place. And we've done a heck of a lot better from where we were, having 5.995% of our reserves unrestricted back in 2015, 16 when we put this stuff in place. I feel comfortable with our reserves going to the 6.99 that we started out with fire assessment for our tentative millage. And I can't say that I would vote conclusively in September for a millage increase. I think that we've got some other tools in our toolbox that can get us to where we are without necessarily passing on this on the citizens. We've got dollar rental properties that are in excess of what we're trying to raise from millage, $682,000, that we basically give away for nothing. And we've got other revenue streams that are there. I think the other piece of it is we're at 34% reserves. At one point, we were on the verge of bankruptcy. While 34% isn't a lot of money when you've got a small general fund as we have, but there's also a significant amount of building and a significant amount of growth that's coming to this community in ways that we haven't seen in a number of years. I wholeheartedly believe that it's okay for us to set the tentative millage at a rate of 6.99, and then we can have real discussions about what are our options to generate revenue as we pass the final budget. But my full opinion is that I just don't think we should raise our taxes at this point, because every year we're getting healthier. And if we're getting healthier every year, at some point we should try to make our citizens healthier every year. And I just don't believe that as good as fire assessment has been for us from the standpoint of creating vitality within the city and even some stability, that it lends to us really pushing forward with adding additional burden to the folks who've been carrying the load. I think if anything, we look at where we are in our 50% and all the other things that we've given discounts on, and we start to look at, do we need to look at what we're doing as far as some of the reductions that are in place? But I think the real answer is we've got an increase in property values coming consistently. We've got a lot of properties that aren't getting the highest and best use, and there may be an opportunity for us to generate that capital from places other than where we are. So that's my thought process on the issue. I appreciate the work the staff has done in bringing the proposal to us, because at the end of the day, they've got to bring to us what they believe is what's best for the city. And I think ultimately we have to make a decision as to whether our view matches their view, or if it doesn't, that's fine. And sometimes there's a middle ground. And so I think 699 for a tentative millage is a middle ground as we begin to go through our budget workshops and talk about setting our final millage. Any additional comments based on what I said? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Ms. Krantz, you got something?
If we're saying there is 6.9, Shank has a new resolution on the screen.
Well, I don't know. We haven't had a motion yet.
Correct. Once the commission votes and proposes a millage, Mayor, I will update the resolution.
That's fine. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion from the commission as to where we are.
Honorable Mayor, I didn't hear that last statement.
She's got alternative resolutions based upon what the commission has in place. She can change the numbers on the resolution so that they match whatever we set our millage at. And so she's saying that based upon what the commission's vote is, she'll place the other resolution on the screen.
Okay. I would like to say one thing. As far as the millage rate being set a little higher, and erring on the side of caution, based upon the salary surveys coming in, and it's not in right now, so that's information we don't have. And as you said, the new facilities that we just took on, and we still got lawn maintenance and stuff that may become a factor here in the very near future. I also agree that we could err on the side of caution by going with her recommendations, and then later we always can bring it down. We do have that window that we can bring it down, but if we set it too low, we're going to be stuck there. We're not going to be able to raise it. So right now I don't mind. Right now I would like the motion to actually accept her recommendation, knowing that we can later lower it after we get all the other budget information handed to us in our budget workshop.
So there's a motion on the floor to set the tentative millage at 7.4 with the rollback rate of 5.4356. Is there any discussion on the motion? I got a comment, and I want to make sure that I let this point be known. I wholeheartedly agree with Commissioner Borum and Commissioner McCaskill. Although we set the millage on a regular basis, if there's any increase, and I can't sit and tell you today that I'm going to vote for an increase because I gave my word that we wouldn't increase it once we instituted fire assessment. I'm going to stick to that. But I can tell you that if we increase it, I wholeheartedly don't believe it should be for more than a fiscal year. But that's something that this commission has to do, because I just don't think that continually increasing our millage rate is healthy for this community. We've seen it before when the millage rate went to 9.174 mills, and we're almost maxed out. So we ended up in a position bringing fire assessment in as a way to bring a level of relief, and it's worked. But I don't want us to get in the habit of relying on that. We got to stop and think methodically of how we increase positions. We got to look at how we're spending. We got to look at job descriptions and how we find ways to make sure that we're getting the most bang for our buck. And we can't spend money like we got a slush fund. So I just think that's where we are, and I think being fiscally responsible is going to be critical to us as we move forward. We've got more money in reserves than we've had in a number of years, but at the end of the day, with the amount of capital projects that we inherited, there's still a lot of work to be done. So that's my comment. Any other discussion on this motion? Did we get a second? Who made the second? Nobody. Is there a second?
Yes, sir.
Is there a second on this motion? Seeing no second, motion dies for lack of a second. Is there an additional motion at this time? Not everybody at once. No motion at this time?
Nothing at this time.
All right. I'm going to pass the gavel to Commissioner Borum. I'll make the motion at this time. I'll relinquish the chair. I move that we set the tentative millage at 6.99 mils with a rollback rate of 5.436 mils for as proposed in the resolution that we have before us right now for the fiscal year 2021-22. That's my motion.
I was trying to make the motion, but I'll second.
Commissioner Campbell. Any questions?
Call the question.
All in favor?
We can't.
It says all in favor. I call the question. Commissioner Borum says all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we go one by one. So, Commissioner Jones.
We're doing roll call. Commissioner Jones, what's your vote?
Nay.
No from Commissioner Jones.
Commissioner Campbell.
Commissioner Campbell?
Yes.
Yes from Commissioner Campbell.
Commissioner McCaskill. Nay.
Nay from Commissioner McCaskill.
Mayor Hill.
Yes.
Nay, Commissioner Borum. Motion failed 3-2.
Motion failed. Taking the gavel back, I'll entertain the third motion. Is there another motion on the floor? Well, the one thing you don't have the luxury of doing is not setting the millage.
Yeah, actually, Mayor, I was just about to speak to that. So by statute, we have to adopt a tentative millage by August the 4th. So if the commission does not vote on this item and lets it die tonight, we will have to call an additional special city commission meeting to get this item adopted.
We got another meeting on the 29th already set.
Okay.
Cancel. Budget workshop set on the 29th, so we'll be meeting then.
But it would have to be a public hearing, Mayor.
Yeah, I understand. We're gonna do this tonight. We're gonna stay here until we get this done. Somebody's gonna. So I'll entertain a motion from somebody to adopt the millage rate. If it's the tentative millage, it'll be reviewed and discussed again as we pass the final budget before September 30th. So somebody please. So 7-4 and 699 have failed. Is there any other number that you're happy with for a tentative millage at this point that someone wishes to put in the form of a motion?
I'm going to reshare my screen so that the commission is able to see the mill breakdown. Once again, I do want to note, as we've said numerous times, you are able to reduce it. This is the maximum.
Close that up. Okay. Okay. I'm waiting for someone to make a motion.
Oh, I'll make a motion that we say it's flat, and we look into what we have in our budget and see what we find money.
There's a motion from Commissioner Borum to remain where we are at 6.4 mils. There's a second by Commissioner McCaskill. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none. Roll call. Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Jones.
Yay.
Yes for Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Campbell.
Oh.
No for Commissioner Campbell. Commissioner Borum.
Yes.
Yes for Commissioner Borum. Commissioner McCaskill?
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner McCaskill. No for me. Motion passes 3-2. Tentative millage will be set at 6.4 mils. Thank you again, Ms. Shank, for providing us with some long debate and thought. And actually, that's not a bad thing, because where we set our millage rate at has a lot to do with how we impact our citizens. And so at this point, we'll look at viable options for revenue generation as we continue on. So we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
At this time, Mr. Lawson, I know you got a long trip back to Tallahassee, and we appreciate you coming to visit the last true snapshot of old Florida and the gem of the St. Johns River. And so we want you to have safe travels on your way back.
Thank you, and my services and my will continue, and I will hope to assist you as you go forward with your troubled waters. It's been a pleasure to work with you for several years, and where there is challenge, there's opportunity.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, item number 6D, public hearing. Give me 1 second. Before I get there, I've got the walkers who've been here for a while. I'm going to take an item out of order. Public hearing, item number 6E, an ordinance annexing approximately 0.46 acres property into the city amending the future land use map from Putnam County Urban Reserve, UR, to City of Palatka Residential Multifamily, RM, and rezoning, Putnam County Ag, to residential single-family R1A, City of Palatka, case PB 21-05. Applicants, owners Kenneth and Sharon Walker. Second reading. Yeah, power thing. We're dead. We're gonna proceed on. We'll proceed on with that. Okay. An ordinance of the City of Palatka, Florida, annexing into corporate city limits.
Certain adjacent territory identified as 2615 Hudson Avenue, Palatka, Florida 32177. Part of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter, official records 316, page 600. Contiguous to the boundaries of the City of Palatka, providing for scrivener's errors and providing for effective date.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Motion on the floor, second by Commissioner McCaskill. Now open the floor for public hearings. Is there anyone here for public hearing? 329-0100, extension 0. YouTube chat, or you can fill out a yellow speaker's card. Do we have anything in the YouTube chat? Hearing that in the YouTube chat, we'll close public comment at this time. Is there any further discussion from the commission? Can they hear me? Stop. Hello?
Question.
Questions called by Commissioner Campbell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item B, rezoning.
An ordinance of the City of Palatka, Florida, providing that the official zoning map of the City of Palatka, Florida be amended from Putnam County Agriculture to the City of Palatka Residential Single Family R1A for the following properties: 2615 Hudson Avenue, Palatka, Florida 32177, a part of the southwest quarter, the southeast quarter, official record book 316, page 600, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
Motion on the floor and a second. We're now open the floor for public hearing. I've got the walkers here. Do you guys have any comments that you want to make?
No.
Okay, no comments from the walkers at this time. Is there anyone else here for public comment at this time? 386-329-0100, extension 0, or you can use the YouTube chat function. Do we have anything in YouTube chat?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Okay. Seeing nothing else, we'll close public comment. Is there any further discussion from the commission?
Question.
I thought you seconded it.
I made a motion. And I'll second it.
Okay. So motion on the floor, the second by Commissioner McCaskill. Is there any further discussion from the commission at this time? Questions called? Did you call question?
Yes, I call question.
Questions called. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. That's it. Everything's adopted. Thank you very much. Moving on to public hearing, item 6D on the agenda, annexing .07 acres of property into the city of Palatka, many future land use map for Putnam County Urban Reserve to the city of Palatka residential light. That's just what it says. It says city of Palatka residential light RL and the rezone Putnam County residential R1A to R1A to R1A single family residential district, city of Palatka, PB 21-04, applicant Toby McGowan, owner A&M Home Builders. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. First item A is the annexation ordinance 21-10, second reading.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the city of Palatka, Florida, certain adjacent territory identified as property appraisers parcel ID 1310.2640 0550 north 12A of east half of the northeast quarter of OF southwest quarter ex Ormond Lee's estate, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, providing for scrivener's errors and providing for an effective date.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor in a second. Is there any, we're now open the floor for public hearing. Same rules apply for public hearing, 386-329-0100, extension 0, or use YouTube chat. Do we have anything to YouTube chat?
Not at this time, Mayor.
No one else on the phone. We'll close public hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Questions called. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Mr. Lee. Moving on to item B, rezoning ordinance 21-12.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that official zoning map of the city of Palatka, Florida be amended from Putnam County Residential 1, R1A, to the city of Palatka Residential 1, R1A, for the following property. North 12A of east half of the northeast quarter of southwest quarter of ex Ormond Lee's estate, property appraisers parcel ID 1310.2640 055040, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor, the second by Commissioner McCaskill. We're now open for public hearing. Is anyone here for public hearing? Since no one will close public hearing. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6F, public hearing. Ordinance annexing .50 acre property in the city of Palatka, amending future land use map from Putnam County Industrial IH to city of Palatka Commercial COM, and rezoning the Putnam County Industrial Heavy IH to city of Palatka C2 Commercial Intensive, case PB 20-05, location Putnam County, property appraisals partial 37-09-26-00-00-01-00-0020, applicant Beckstone Properties, first reading.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the city of Palatka, Florida, certain adjacent territory identified as Putnam County Property Appraisers, parcel number 3709-26-40-0100-0020, Stimwell Suburban Farms, map book 2, page 39, front lot 12 to 13, official records 241, page 691, OR 1184, page 310, also part of the closed old Highway 15 for residential official record 1241, page 254, OR 1288, page 675, subject to easement OR 1330, PP 14351441, map sheet 37E, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, providing for structure and providing for an effective date.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor in a second. Now open the floor for public hearings. Anyone here for public hearing through all three functions, YouTube 386-329-0100, or in public? Is there anything in YouTube?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
We'll now close public hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion?
Question.
Questions called, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item B, future land use map. Future land use amendment ordinance 21-20.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the future land use map of the adopted comprehensive plan be amended with respect to the following parcel of land less than 10 acres in size from the Putnam County Industrial I-8 to City of Palatka, City Commercial, for the following property. Putnam County Property Appraisers Parcel Number 3709-2640-0100-0020, Stonewall Suburban Farms, Map Book 2, page 39, part of lots 12 and 13, official records 241, page 691, official records 1184, page 310, also part of closed old Highway 15, per res, official records 1241, page 254, official records 1288, page 675, subject to the easement, official records 1330, page 1435, 1441, map of sheet 37E, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, Florida, and providing for extraordinary carriage and providing for an effective date.
So moved.
On the floor in a second, is there anyone here for public hearing through all three options? Is there anything in the YouTube chat?
Not at this time, Mayor.
We'll close public hearing. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to rezoning ordinance 21-21.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the official zoning map of the city of Palatka, Florida be amended from Putnam County Industrial Heavy IH to the city of Palatka C2 Commercial Intensive for the following property. Putnam County Property Appraisers Parcel Number 3709-2640-0100-0020, Stonewall Suburban Farms, Map Book 2, page 39, part of lots 12 and 13, official records 241, page 691, official records 1184, page 310, also part of the closed old Highway 15 per res, official records 1241, page 254, official records 1288, page 675, subject to an easement of official records book 1330, page 1435, 1441, map sheet 37E, providing for severability, providing for extraordinary carriage, and providing for an effective date.
So moved. Second.
Motion on the floor in a second. Now I'll put public hearings. Anyone here for public hearing, you can use all three functions. Is there anything in YouTube chat?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Hearing. Is there any further discussion from the commission? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item number 9. Public hearing ordinance annexing 4.05 acres, 3.80 acres of property into the city. Item 8, annexation ordinance 21-22.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the city of Palatka, Florida, certain adjacent territory identified as 3019 building mapping of Palatka, Florida, 32177, Jackson subdivision, DBY, page 48, lots 6 and 7, book 228, page 152, plus official records 333, page 490, and 3020 Building Avenue, Palatka, Florida, 32177, Simpkins, map book 1, page 114, block 2, part of blocks 1 through 8, including official records 223, page 46, west 50 feet of blocks 4, 5, part of closed third, official records 239, page 660, block 3, blocks 1, 2, 7, 8, plus E, 25 feet of block 36, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, providing for scrivener's errors and providing for an effective date.
Motion on the floor in a second by Commissioner Borum. No, before public hearing. Anyone here for public hearing? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion at this time? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item B. Item B is our future land use map amendment ordinance 21-23 for adoption. Let me do it. I got you. In order for the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the future land use map of the adopted comprehensive plan be amended with respect to the following parcel of land, less than 10 acres in size from Putnam County Urban Services, U.S., the city of Palatka, Industrial, IND, for the following property, 3019 Building Avenue, Palatka, Florida, 32177, Jackson Subdivision, DBV, P48, Lot 6 and 7, EX, Book 228, page 152, OR 333, page 497, and 3022 Building Avenue, Palatka, Florida 32177, Census Map Book 1, page 114, Block 2, part of lots 1 through 8, including OR 223, page 406, with 50 feet of the lots 4 and 5, part of Close 3rd Street, OR 239, page 660, blocks 3, lots 1, 2, 7, and 8, and the east 25 feet of lots 3 and 6, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, Florida, and providing for scrivener's error and providing for an effective date.
I want to make a motion to approve with, correct on that, I think the mayor mentioned page 497, that'll be page 490, so I'll approve it with, page 490, I think you said 497.
Oh, it says scrivener's error on that.
Yeah.
There's motion to approve. And a second. Now for the floor for public hearing. Is there anyone here for public hearing? Seeing no one, we'll close public hearing at this time. Is there any further discussion for the commission? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Moving on to rezoning ordinance 21-24. I got you. I'll give you a break.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the official zoning map of the city of Palatka, Florida be amended from Putnam County Light Industrial to the city of Palatka Light Industrial for the following property, 3019 Building Avenue, Palatka, Florida, 32177, Jackson Subdivision, DBY, page 48, lots 6 and 7, X, book 228, page 152, plus OR 333, page 490, and 3020 Building Avenue, Palatka, Florida, 32177, Census Map 1, page 114, block 2, part of block 1 through 8, including official records 223, page 46, plus 50 foot of lots 4 and 5, part of Close 3rd Street, official records 239, page 660, block 3, lots 1, 2, 7, and 8, plus east 25th of block 3 and 6, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
Motion on the floor in a second. We're now for the floor for public hearing. Is there anyone here for public hearing? Is there anything in YouTube chat?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Public hearing, is there any further discussion from the commission? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on. Trying to get in there, public hearing ordinance, amending future land use map from commercial COM to residential light RL and rezoning from commercial intensive C2 to residential light R1. Case PB 21-15, location of property, appraisers parcel number 421027, 6850, 1590, 0060, applicant Thomas and Cynthia Lewis, first reading. Item A, future land use map amendment ordinance 21-35.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the future land use map of the adopted comprehensive plan Be amended with respect to the following parcel of land less than 10 acres in size from commercial home to residential light RL, future land use for the following property appraisers 42, 10, 27, 68, 50, 15, 90, 0060, 6 map of Palatka, map book 2, page 46, block 159, north, 63 feet of south, 126 feet of west, block book 88, page 86, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, Florida, and providing for scrivener's errors and providing for an effective date.
Second.
I'll put a motion on the floor by Commissioner McCaskill, second by Commissioner Jones. Is there one on the floor for public hearing? Is anyone here for public hearing? Seeing no one, we'll close public hearing. Any discussion from the commission? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item B, rezoning ordinance.
An ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the official zoning map of the city of Palatka, Florida be amended from commercial intensive C2 to residential light R1 for the following property appraisers 42, 10, 27, 68, 50, 15, 90, 606, map of Palatka, map of 2, page 46, block 159, north 63 feet of the south 126 feet of west third of block book 88, page 86, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
So moved. Second.
The motion on the floor and the second by Commissioner Campbell. Is there an offer for public hearing? Is anyone here for public hearing using all three functions? 363290100 extension 0 or YouTube chat. Is there anything YouTube?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
No YouTube. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 2126, right? Moving on to emergency items. Adopt resolution number 2021 R97 authorizing execution of grant agreement with FAA for taxiway A rehabilitation in an amount of $1,233,050. Entertain a motion to accept this as an emergency item.
I'll make so move.
There's a motion on the floor and a second, just for discussion purposes. This is because there's a time limitation on this item that will end before our next meeting. So, is there any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Now moving on to the item, will you read the caption for the resolution? I've got it up.
A resolution of the city of Palatka, Florida, authorizing the mayor and the acting city clerk to execute and attest the federal aviation administrative grant for fiscal year 2021 airport improvement program grant agreement for taxiway off of phase 2 west section pavement, lighting and drainage rehabilitation project, providing for scrivener's errors.
So moved. Second.
Motion on the floor by Commissioner Borum, second by Commissioner McCaskill. We'll now open the floor. Public hearing. Is there anyone here for public hearing using all three functions as previously mentioned? Seeing no one, we'll close public hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Moving on. Number 8, adopt resolution 2021 R98, authorize execution of Lowe's 100 Hometowns Grant Program Agreement in the amount of $125,000. This is an emergency item as well. I'll need a motion. It's time sensitive.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner Borum. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. At this time, you read the caption for the resolution.
Resolution of the city of Palatka, Florida, for approving the execution of the Lowe's 100 hometown grant agreement in an amount of $125,000, providing for scrivener there.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and a second. Now before the public hearing, is there anyone here for public hearing? Using all three forms, is there anything in the YouTube chat?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Saying nothing, we'll close public hearing. Any further discussion from the commission? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any representatives from Lowe's on the line?
We do, yes.
Do we got, is Mr. Rao on the line?
We have.
Good evening, commissioners, and good evening, Mayor Hill. Yes, I am here, as well as Wayne, obviously, and of course, Jonathan, obviously, is here.
My favorite senior citizen. So again, we have you both on the line, gentlemen. We just want to say on behalf of the city of Palatka, Florida, that we are elated about getting the award to be the grant recipient, but we are more than overwhelmed and just thankful that the both of you saw fit to recommend the city of Palatka, Florida, and nominate us. And so we're just glad at the amount of work that you guys put into it, the amount of thought, and there's not enough thank yous for us to give you at this time. And so we are just delighted. And
well,
do you have any comments for us?
Yeah, I'll keep this real brief. First of all, a lot of recognition goes to Wayne and to Jonathan and to the school district because a lot of the work in the presentation really came from them. The recommendation idea just kind of came from me, and then how we were going to plan out to push this forward and to get in front of the right channels within the organization. We're very fortunate because there was only 3 cities selected in the state of Florida, and there was quite a few applications total. I think it was over a couple thousand applications into the project, and to make it into that final 100 and to be one of those few stores here, obviously, in the state. As of right now, I'm actually waiting on a couple responses in regards to some of the more technical issues that we'll have to come across from a quoting standpoint. I'm reaching out to Neil Cooper with Florida Sound Systems, commercial sound system engineering company in Jacksonville, and I've got another company in Orlando I'm currently working with. And then also I'm reaching out to James Johnson with PCI, who works for the Jacksonville Beach Amphitheater. Obviously a little bit larger setup than we would have, but obviously a lot of knowledge in the industry. So trying to find out some of those answers, because that's some of the stuff, obviously, I don't think a lot of us have a lot of technical expertise in. We do have a meeting Monday at 8:30 to kind of discuss the next ongoings, and then we should have a general contractor meeting, I do believe, based off of who's being appointed with points of light and within the organization itself as to kind of those next steps and how we will start planning the process in regards to raw materials and things that Lowe's is going to be actually providing through the stores as well. So.
Definitely, we appreciate it. Mr. McLean.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. And to just tag on to what Brian said and to be very quick and to the point, we are also, a group of us is also seeking some additional funding to augment the generous grant we got from Lowe's to really make this a state-of-the-art amphitheater that the community can be proud of. I did just want to very briefly mention the support of the city through the commissioners signing the letter way big in this. And so I do want to thank the commissioners and you, Mr. Mayor, for the continued appreciated than you know.
Definitely, Mr. McLean, we thank you as well. And we definitely appreciate all the work that you put in to make Palatka a better place to live. Any comments from the commission?
I guess, doing 3 of, say, over 2,000 or 20,000, 2,000. Being selected as that nominated, and I can't speak enough about it, but I want to thank all the people again, as the mayor, and police gentlemen. But it's still going to help, retirees, the team, seniors, veterans, and small business owners, and more. I thank all those involved, like PCSD, Public School District, Wayne McLean, always helping us out. Jonathan, with the tremendous work that he continues to do towards Brown Grant, and Lowe's, and most of all, Brian, who's the representative of Lowe's. So we can't thank you guys enough for thanking us for Palatka and helping us to help our citizens.
I would like
Anyone
to,
else?
I would like to say thank you. I feel that
Someone, Commissioner McCaskill, and then I'll come right to you.
Just to echo the same sentiment that Commissioner Borum, he called out the key players, key stakeholders, and we just can't thank you guys enough. Just to be in the running and like you said, to be nominated, considered, and then selected, it goes beyond a celebration or congratulations and thanks. So thank y'all so much for this opportunity. I just can't begin to put words to it other than that.
Thank you. Commissioner Campbell.
to echo the sentiments of Commissioner Gordon as well as Commissioner McCaskill. Definitely thank you to Lowe's. That's just one additional thing that's going to make us shine, the gem of the city shine, and it's going to make our riverfront just that much more family friendly. So again, thank you to everyone that's involved, and I look forward to this project taking its place.
Any other comments? Seeing none, and just again, thank you, gentlemen, for your hard work, and we look forward to getting a chance to enjoy it all. And thank you to staff as well, Mr. Griffith, for your work on this project.
Don't forget Ms. Tucker too. She put a lot of work in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. And we'd be remiss not to thank her as well. Next up is our city manager and administrative reports. We are into the 8 o'clock hour. Mr. Holmes, you're up.
Be brief. We received an initial draft of the salary and compensation study on Monday. We've met multiple times by Zoom with with Tom from Rewards, the president and CEO. Multiple phone conversations, all in an effort to try to make the data and the comparisons more accurate. We expect a final report tomorrow. When I say more accurate, I'm talking about defining the peer group that was used for comparison purposes, and also attempting to separate out the jobs that were of like kind across the different peer group spectrum compared to those that might not be, because of differences in responsibility and scope key to the budgets of the organizations and or the number of citizens being served. Been a many-hour process with staff and the reward group in attempting to refine that to make it as accurate as possible. And we expect the results for the first draft, the final draft tomorrow. I'll be sending that out to all the commissioners, and then from there you can work that into our plans and consideration of how to address, or how you're going to address the or if you're going to address the salary and wage issue. Have nothing further.
Nothing else. Moving on to our department heads, I can't see my list. Chief, so I think we have Mr. Forsyth here for Chief Shaw. I'll go to Captain Forsyth. We got anything? No. Okay. Chief Taylor.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Mr. Yule.
Nothing, sir, except to thank you for taking up that application on an emergency basis. We got short hopped by the FAA, and thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Ms. Krantz.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Ms. Thomas.
Nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jones.
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Walsh.
Nothing at this time, sir.
Ms. Shank.
I am all set for the evening. Thank you so much.
Okay. I think that's everybody. Commissioner Campbell, I'll let you go first.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Commissioner Jones,
Nothing at this time, sir.
Commissioner Boyle,
No, I got something. I just want to thank the staff for, the very hard work that they put in, the dedication they put in for the budget proposal and preparation. To present, it was very informative, and, also the amount of work that they put in for the salary survey, among other things. I want to thank the city manager and all the department heads for that, and, again, thank you guys for all that. We'll also, send, our prayers to, Surfside, community. They're still putting their lives together down there as best they can, so just want to continue to send prayers to that community. Other than that, that's all I have, and that's what's up.
I know Mr. Cutright, was he on?
Mr. Cutright asked permission to leave because of a family issue. I think you understand where Mr. Cutright is today. Mr. Mayor and I advised him that we would, I'd cover for him if there was a question.
Okay.
I would say that he did send us an email with an update.
Okay. And I'm gonna forego my comments for tonight. Again, we're moving forward. We have a lot of annexations in place. We're making progress. And so Commissioner McCaskill, I don't think she had any comments for us tonight. With that being said, we are going to stand in adjournment, and we look forward to seeing you very soon for our workshop.